My name is Steven Skelton. I'm a producer for CI Games on Lords of the Fallen.
Okay, now this, a lot of people are just looking at this, be like, wow, they're really taking they're taking killing to the next level. Why don't you give us a detail about the backstory about like who you play in the game and why you're playing them?
Yeah, well, you play as the character. His name is Harkon, and the backstory of Lords of the Fallen is thousands of years ago, humanity defeated an evil god that was reigning over the earth, banished it to another dimension, and figured, great, we've banished all evil from the world. There'll be no more evil anywhere or anytime. So when people after that point committed a sin or a crime or an evil act, they went, hey, this is no good. We brand him with a tattoo and make him an outcast. And at the start of the game, the demonic forces are returning to Earth, and no one knows why. And so they figure, well, let's fight evil with evil. Let's find the worst of the worst, the guy who's committed the most sins, and task him with tracking down the generals of this fallen god's army as lords, and defeat them and banish them again from the earth to keep this god from rising again. And that's you, Harkon.
So you're a badass in a nutshell.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, you're not a happy camper.
Now, the game has an action role-playing style combat system. I mean, it's not like you have to face off against enemies, but you have to do it in a tactful way, or otherwise you're dead, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's we're focusing on very small-scale, personal hand-to-hand combat. So it's not hordes of enemies coming at you. It's one or two at a time, and it's very tactical. And you have to observe the behavior of the enemies to figure out what they're going to do and how you're going to fight them.
And sometimes you actually use strategy. Like during the demo that we saw, we faced up against some like smaller blind guys who were like trying to kill us. And then there's a big dude with a shield, and you actually can lure him to fall through some boards in the center of the room.
Yeah, in some places there will be like some environmental traps and things that you can use to your advantage if you choose to.
Okay. Now tell us about the different weapons and tools that you can trade off with in the game too.
Okay, yeah, basically the way the character system and weapons and equipment work is we do have a class system, 3 basic classes when you start the game. You choose either a cleric, a warrior, or a rogue, and that will determine the type of magical abilities you have access to. And then outside of that, any piece of equipment you come across, any weapon or piece of armor or whatever, is usable across all classes. So there's no class-restricted gear.
Very cool. And then we saw the visual detail here. You actually have 2 different studios working on this game, right?
Yeah, that's absolutely right. CI Games is based in Warsaw, Poland, and Deck 13 is based in Germany, and it's a co-production.
And how tough is it like coordinating between the 2 studios since they're so far off from each other?
Well, I don't think it's necessarily that terribly difficult, because I think, just the way the work and asset creation has been broken up, it works in a pretty smooth system actually.
Well, that's good. And now, is it just going to be the one playable character throughout the game, but you'll be able to pick up like different perks and everything like that to like level them up, make them stronger, you think, or? Yeah,
it's basically because we have a very specific story we're telling about Harkon throughout the game. So you're always a version of Harkon, but it's your version of Harkon. So you're a class choice, your equipment choice, and as you play through the game, you find new pieces of equipment, new weapons, new armor, that type of stuff.
Great. When can we expect the game?
October 28th is our release date, and it's going to be for Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and PC. And if you pre-order, you get automatically upgraded to the limited edition in North America and South America, and that will include some DLC, an additional quest, an additional demonic weapon pack, and the soundtrack.